What's going on, man? Today is episode 156 or 157, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to get over your binge eating habit. All right, now start off, man. Binge eating will make hitting your fitness goal way harder than it needs to be. All right, especially if you're trying to get abs and cut. I suppose if you're bulking, it may even help, but if you're trying to get abs or want to get lean, binge eating will make it way harder than it needs to be. All right, and anybody that can binge eat, that binge eats, can admit to this. Even myself. Previously, before, I used to have trouble where when I had a taste of good food, I was just unstoppable. I was uncontrollable. All right, so I want to kind of give you some guidance today on how you can overcome this if you want to hit your fitness goal. All right, so to start off, man, I don't think enough people realize this, but these companies that make all these processed foods, these fast food joints, and like all the processed candies, cakes, and all that other bullshit, these companies spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on R&D, the research and development. They get these motherfucking scientists, these nerds, to make their food purposely more addicting. All right, there's a reason why in North America, okay, majority of people are considered overweight or obese. Okay, if you look across the entire world, this doesn't really seem to be a massive issue. All right, it's just generally in North America, and it's because these food companies and all these, companies that produce processed food, they literally purposely will make these foods very addicting, okay? Because what will happen is you'll buy more and you'll make them more money, okay? So I want you to realize it's not necessarily your fault that you have a binge eating problem, all right? These motherfucking scientists who've been making the food more tasty than it needs to be, man, all right? These guys are the ones that have been holding a lot of people back. And by continuing to, eat these foods that you know very well are not good for you, you're literally making these motherfuckers rich and they're laughing at your fat ass, all right? I just wanted to put that out there just to give you some extra motivation next time you want to binge out, okay? You're literally making these motherfuckers richer and they're laughing at your ass because they're like, you a fucking bot. You're a motherfucking bot. You eating all this processed garbage food that ain't good for your body. All right? So to start off, man, if you have a binge eating problem, you need to figure out the trigger, okay? Whatever it may be, you need to identify what causes you to binge out, okay? So if, let's say, you typically binge out after work or after the gym, or when you're stressed out, or when you're going through things. Whatever the case may be, you need to find the trigger that usually causes it, okay? Once you identify the trigger, you need to come up with a plan on what you're going to do when that trigger appears, because it's gonna happen again. Motherfuckers want to be happy for the rest of their life. You're not gonna be happy the rest of your life. There's gonna be shit that happens. The same way, you're gonna have that craving to go out and binge. Again, it's not gonna forever go away, but it's just, how do you deal with it better, okay? So you need to come up with a plan, okay? And you need to make it so that by choosing to binge eat, that's the hardest option you have. You need to make, let me re-explain this, okay? You want to make it so that there's a lot of friction between you and binge eating, okay? For example, if you know that late at night you end up making McDonald's trips, okay? What you need to do instead is have some snacks or fruit at the crib so it prevents you from, having to go out late at night and have some McDonald's. Or if you know you're gonna spend money and stuff, maybe give it to someone maybe give your credit card, your debit card to someone you trust at night and be like, all right, just hide it from me so that I don't, end up driving down to McDonald's and buying some food, okay? That's just an example. Obviously, you need to come up with a plan for your special circumstance, okay? But once you identify the trigger, you come up with a plan and you cause friction from your trigger to end up binge eating, you need to do other things as well. Some of those things include changing up your diet, all right? Now, stands to reason, if these foods that these motherfucking companies have paid millions of dollars to scientists to make it addicting, the best way to avoid binging out on this garbage food is by not having it, okay? You need to cut out all that shit from your diet, okay? Because if it's kind of like if you have a drug habit, the only way to beat the drug habit is to not do it, right? It's obvious, but it's harder than it seems to someone who is stuck in that mindset, okay? But I'm telling you, once you go long enough period of time, not having processed junk food, sugar, and all that other bullshit, okay? Once you go an extended period of time, what will end up happening is when you do have that shit that you thought was good, it's gonna make you feel like shit after. I'm telling you, because I eat clean now, I used to really enjoy Popeyes, okay? Fried chicken, I love that shit. But now when I have it, although I still enjoy it, I feel like shit after. So I keep my trips to Popeyes as low as possible because I just end up feeling like garbage afterwards. And I know the consequences that happen. But if your fat ass continues to have processed food and junk food and sugar on a regular basis, you're gonna eat the motherfucking Popeyes and not really notice a big difference because you're already feeding yourself shit to begin with, okay? So make some diet changes. I really, really highly recommend you switch to a very low carb, high protein diet. In my opinion, there are many reasons why I suggest this, but one of the biggest reasons I suggest it is because it really helps with the cravings, especially if you go really high protein. It really helps with the cravings. That's just my personal recommendation. You can do whatever diet you want at the end of the day, man. I'm not stopping you. But if you're looking for a diet that could help out with controlling cravings, try low carb, keto, carnivore, and you'll be surprised. Like your cravings will go down if you follow it for an extended period of time, okay? And the final thing you need to do, okay, is to not have it at the crib. If you know that when you binge out, you go straight to the kitchen and grab the chips, or you grab cake, or you grab whatever it may be, man, okay? Stop having food that you know is gonna hurt your fitness goal in the crib, okay? It sounds easy, but you'll be surprised. Motherfuckers will still buy the food that they think they can. Let me rephrase myself. They buy food that they know is unhealthy, but think to themselves, oh, I have enough self-control even if I have a bite. Motherfucker, if you're clicking on this video, most likely once you have a bite, you're gonna have to go crazy. So I'm not trusting you on that bullshit. Keep that food out your crib. And there's gonna be someone out there that says, well, my kids, I have to make sure that they enjoy the food and shit. Motherfucker, do you want your kids to look like you? You want, if you feed your kids the food you've been eating, what do you think they're gonna end up looking like? They're gonna look like your fat ass, okay? So instead, force them to have food that is good for them and that is good for you. Because if you end up getting in shape by changing what you keep at your house, your kids, when they grow up, will not be a fat ass like you. So it stands to reason, even if your kids are picky eaters, you should still do it regardless. Keep that food away from the crib. If it's not at the house, you can't fucking eat it. And it makes it harder. That's the restriction I'm talking about, or the friction I'm talking about. When you do not have the food at your house, you have to, go grab your wallet, go grab your keys, turn on your car, drive all the way to the store, pick up the thing, drive back home. It makes it way harder. And that may be enough resistance to prevent you from binging out on food that is not good for you. And instead having the healthier option instead, okay? But listen, man, I know some of you may have other issues or even a bigger issue when it comes to binge eating, and I won't be able to cover everything in one video, man. And you may need some extra help, and you're someone who values their time and want to get results as efficiently as possible. If that sounds like you, click the link in the description and you can apply to my coaching academy where I will personally help you one-on-one to hit your fitness goal, okay? And I'll make it so that it's customized towards your needs as well as lifestyle. All right? But if that doesn't sound like you and you're kind of just wanting to get in shape by yourself for free and stuff, just check out the rest of the videos. I'm going to try to put out as much content as I can so that you can still get in shape just by watching all my YouTube videos. But if you feel like you need the extra step, okay, click the link in the description. Let's see how we can work together and hit your fitness goal. Other than that, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.